Welcome to Module 1, Session 3, where we're comparing NGSS and the scientific method. Our essential question today is how can we leverage the inquiry cycle in the science classroom to best approximate real scientific practices? Our learning objective: I can compare and contrast the scientific method with real science and explain how that relates to NGSS. Our session flow today, you're starting with this video, the introduction video, or we're launching into the topic, and in a moment, you'll have a chance to reflect on the topic before we begin. Then we're going to learn about the Trogloraptor spider and do a short discussion post about what we learned around it. Then you're going to complete an activity related to the scientific method versus real science and comparing and contrasting the two. Then we're going to come back together and discuss why does this matter as science educators. We're going to explore some resources around inquiry labs and brainstorm some inquiry labs for ourselves. And lastly, we're going to post a reflection on a discussion board. In order to reflect before we begin, I want to quick tell you a little bit about my first year teaching science. I was fresh out of college at a school in the United States, and one of the first things I did when I entered my classroom was think about how am I going to decorate this place. I raided the science department closet and came across some posters that looked just like this. Many of you are probably familiar with posters that look like this. It depicts the scientific method, a series of steps that scientists follow in order to do science. The question I have for you today that I want you to start reflecting on before we begin today's session is: did my first year classroom decorations promote a rich understanding for my students of what scientific inquiry looks like? Why or why not? Take a second to think about it and then get started on your learning.